It's like they don't know what being a Steeler is anymore. No pride. No, they don't. Most of these guys are new.
The Steelers had alumni weekend not too long ago.
Yeah, they did.
Can they bring those guys back and have them in the locker room and talk some sense into these youngsters?
I feel like it should be a requirement that every time that whenever you become a Pittsburgh Steeler, that you watch a video of the history of this team and understand the importance of wearing the logo.
Yeah.
And understand like why you're on the team and what we expect from you.
And Hayward's made that extremely notable in many interviews. Minka made that notable when he was doing a press conference after he signed his extension. So did T.J. Watt last year. They mentioned the prestige of being a Pittsburgh Steeler, just the honor to be a part of this organization, play for the Rooneys, play for Mike Tomlin, play for the colors, play for the logo. And they want to show why they earn the right to have these extensions, and they have the right to wear that logo.
Minka, Watt, and Hayward are the only three guys I can think of on the team right now that embody the history of a Pittsburgh Steelers. And those guys are going to have to instill that on the current guys.
They actually represent a Steeler. They represent the logo. They represent the culture. And just to hear about these guys just on the sideline
laughing and giggling. And like I applaud Arthur Maulet for speaking out about it. It's like we're down 38-3 and you're laughing. It's like, what are you in the sport for if you're just gonna laugh when you're losing? You accept participation awards? You accept participation trophies? God almighty, remember that?
Are we gonna have Ryan Clark have another rage fit like he did last year?
Yep.
Are we going to have Bill Cowher have to talk? Why should these former players have to say something when you heard this message last year? When you should know.
Here's the thing. We're hearing it every year from past players. Every year. Every single year. Last year it was Rocky. It was Ryan Clark. It was Chris Hoke. It was Brett Kiesel.
Alan Faneca.
How many more? Ramon Foster.
Oh, we're going to hear it again? I guarantee you throughout the week we're going to hear it again. And watch that apparently light a fire under their ass.
I don't anticipate it, though. Because it seems like every year, man, we're hearing the same criticism from the same guys for the same reasons, and there's no change. Oh, man. This team has been lost for years.
Yeah.
The culture has been lost for years.
I honestly say that the culture's been lost since Dan Rooney passed away.
Great point.
I'm sorry. As soon as he went, I think that culture went. And I don't think Art Rooney, Dan's son, I don't think he represents... He's a Rooney. He always will be a Rooney, but I don't think he represents like a Rooney.
Right.
Like how the Chief did, like how Dan did. How they cared about the sport. How they cared about the Steelers, how they cared about the players. I think Art's there just because he's a Rooney.
Right.
He's just there. He's here to take over his grandfather and his father's team.
Right. It's a family, what's the word? Like, family business. It's like
it's a family team.
Right.
They run the team.
It's a family tradition. It's keeping it in the family name.
But I don't think he represents what Dan and the Chief did.
No, not even close.
And it's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate.
It is.
Because I've heard stories about the Chief, right? And I read this book recently. It's called Steelers Dynasty. It's a book that came out, I think, in 2005, something like that. You know, the team that changed the NFL.
Right.
And I hear stories about these former players, you know, how the Chief would show up at practice and see how the team's doing. There's actually this one moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's this one moment where a new signee for the Steelers came in, and the Chief was greeting the teammates and greeting the coaches and everything like that. And the player made the play, and he knocked into the Chief and knocked him down, and he felt so bad about it. But then the Chief was like, man, I'm glad we have you on the team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
I hear stories about Dan Rooney, how he would always be at practice and show up in the locker room and, you know, congratulate the players on a big win and stuff like that.
Yep.
I don't know if I missed out, but I haven't heard anything about Art Rooney doing that.
No.
You know, ownership plays a big part in how the team feels, on how the morale is. Is Art Rooney getting in that locker room and talking to these guys Let him know about, I appreciate you doing what you're doing for this team. Trying to help us win. Getting a win. Congrats on the big win, buddy. I'm glad you're a part of this team. I have not heard anything about that.
Right. Now, that might all be in private. I don't know, but seriously, man, this team's been lost for years.